Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing a military blunders video on Dien Bien Phu. Anytime a military leader establishes a base, the first priority is location. You need to secure the highest positions and prevent the enemy from taking it from you. You want a good water source, you want a defensible position high up so that the enemy has to work to get to you, much less to physically try to take it from you. Never, ever, ever underestimate your opponent. That's the cardinal rules. If you think they can't do it, chances are they will. They will do it. They'll find a way to do it. That's basically what this video is about. In late 1953, the French in Indochina were trying to end the war with the communist Viet Minh. General Henri Navarre, commander-in-chief in Indochina, came up with a daring strategy. He decided to deploy a large force near the village of Dien Bien Phu. The village was on a wide plain circled by mountains. His intent was to interdict the enemy supply lines and draw the Viet Minh into a crushing conventional defeat. The plan was sound. The basic plan was sound. His intent was to supply the base by air, and supplying that many men, you could probably do it by air, so that's a reasonable assumption. Here's where the plan unraveled. The legendary Viet Minh General Vo Nguyen Giap deployed 5 divisions to encircle the plain to prevent the French escape. Then he had his soldiers and as many civilians as he could find dismantle and manhandle 300 105mm artillery pieces up into the mountains. There were no roads. These people disassembled them, took them up the mountain, and reassembled them. Just sheer manpower. The artillery fire began pounding the French on January 31st, 1954. By April 4th, it was evident that the French were determined fighters, so Giap switched tactics. His 50,000 men began digging trenches toward the French. They call that sapping. Between the steady artillery barrage and attacks which took stronghold after stronghold, the French had a number of strongholds built in the area as part of their base. The Viet Minh took stronghold after stronghold while the artillery continued. The French were beaten back. Dien Bien Phu finally ended with the French surrender on May 7th. French losses were 7,184 dead and 12,000 captured. Giap lost 20,000 men, but this was the beginning of the end of French colonies in Indochina. The French, the issue here was the location of the base. They made their base on a low plain surrounded by mountains because they figured there's no way they could get any sizable forces up into the mountains to pound them. Well, guess what? Giap proved them wrong. Say what you want about him, the man was a military genius. I don't like his politics because he was communist, but the man knew how to fight. The French gave up the high ground and severely underestimated their enemy. It was a shooting gallery for the artillery, and the encirclement prevented the French from leaving. Once you know you're surrounded, you have 2 choices. You can either break out or stay and fight. Once the artillery started, it was too late for them to get out because they were encircled. The Dien Bien Phu was a clusterfuck from the get-go. The basic idea was sound. You interdict their supply lines. You create a base there so that the enemy has to engage you to open up those supply lines. That plan, that basic tactic, that basic strategy was good. Location, location, location. Bad location killed them. That's what that boils down to. The French had a few tanks. I want to say 6 tanks, and they had some Bearcat fighter bombers, aircraft, but it still didn't do any good. It's just location, location, location. That's all it boils down to. But I hope this finds everybody well. You folks have a good day. God bless one and all.